Hello and welcome to the fourth instalment of our off-track lockdown series. Tonight I'm talking to a driver who hasn't been on track much the last couple of years, 422 Ben Riley. Ben, thank you for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
It was your birthday last week. Yeah, I'm good. It was your birthday last week, I saw on Facebook.
Yeah,
Did you get much chance to celebrate?
A little bit, yeah. We built a bar in the back garden, so nice. I decided to have a bike ride from Manchester Rochdale to my girlfriend's, and we had a bit of a drink in the bar that we made, and then she made me a lovely tea. So yeah, it was good enough. It was at least we had somewhere to drink and have a bit of music, so it was better than nothing.
Yes, absolutely. Good. I'm doing a good birthday. And are you at work at the moment? Are you able to work in the current climate?
Yeah. We own a garage, a family-run garage in Salford. There's not a lot of work coming in, but you know, we've got work to keep us going, and we're allowed to work for certain reasons to keep the NHS going and stuff like that. So yeah, we are still working. We're still open. We've not got everybody in, but we've still got lads going in and putting the graft in. So
yeah. So a good birthday and you're at work. So all is good in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into stock cars then. So you started your Brisker Formula One career in 2015. Did you race anything else prior to coming into Formula One stock cars?
Yeah, I raced Formula 2. We bought a Formula 2. I could only race when my dad was racing Formula 1, really. So I could only do the odd meeting here and there when Formula 1s was on at the same time as Formula 2. So then that's because when I wanted to race, my dad was racing a Formula 1 somewhere, so I couldn't race. And then obviously when like the Skeggy weekenders and stuff like that, and Northampton weekenders, I could do. So there was very little time in the Formula 2s.
Yeah. So how many seasons did you do in Formula 2s then?
It might have been one or two, but it wasn't. I'd probably done 12 meetings in each year, so I wasn't really racing a lot in Formula 2 at all.
So you mentioned your dad, and I'm quite aware that your family's got quite a deep history in Formula 1 stock cars, isn't it? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, it started off with my granddad. He raced Formula 1 for a good few years. He raced, I can't remember what they were called, but the car he raced was called the Black Widow.
Okay.
And then he made the move to Formula 1, which he done quite well. You know, the stories that I've heard that he was a good driver, and the videos I've seen he was good. He won a few races, a few finals. And you got my uncle John. He raced at Warren Stock Car Club for a couple of years, where he won the track championship, and then he moved into Formula 1s. You got my brother. He races Formula 2s now. He's an up and coming driver. He's got everything about him. He's got balls as well. You know, he likes to get stuck in. And then obviously you got my dad. He raced Formula 1s. He also raced at Wharton as well with my uncle John. And then he moved to Formula 1s, and he got, he done well for himself actually. Just a shame he wasn't the right age really he wasn't once he got a bit older, the knocks was getting to him a bit more, and so he had to knock it on the head when he did.
Yeah. And
then I've got my cousin Charlotte. She raced minis at Wharton for a while. She was a good driver. She was really good. She got stuck in with the lads. It would be nice to see her actually race a Formula 1.
Yeah.
To see how she got on. But yeah, and then obviously there's me.
Yeah. So there's loads of you. So you were in Formula 2, and you said that quite a lot of your family came in and raced Formula 1. Did you feel any pressure to come and race Formula 1, or were you quite happy in Formula 2?
To be honest with you, I've always wanted to race a Formula 1. So when I got the opportunity, I wasn't really committed in Formula 2. So when I got the opportunity to race Formula 1, and my dad said we're gonna have a go, we're gonna build a car. I was buzzing. I didn't feel any pressure, because that's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to get in and race. And so the pressure and all that lot of it, it didn't really come into it for me. You know, I just wanted to go out there and do my best, and I'm glad I did it. You know, it's worked quite well for me.
So did they give you lots of hints, tips, advice, or was it kind of I just want to do my own thing?
My granddad gave me a little bit, and my dad was my main mechanic at the time. You know, he loved stock car and was getting stuck in. So my dad gave me a lot of stuff, and my granddad told me a lot of stuff. John gave me a few tips here and there, but it's hard listening to 3 or 4 different people because they all have a different insight to how to race a stock car, and not everybody's going to be exactly the same. So in hindsight, you've got to really try and make your own mistakes, and then obviously you'll learn from your own mistakes.
Yeah, no, I get that because you're the one sat in the driver's seat, and you're the one that's reading the race when you're out on track. It's quite hard to advise how to do that, isn't it?
From well, you can come off track, and then my dad will say one thing and to change that, and then you know the other lads will go, "Oh, you need to change this, you need to change that." So it's hard. It's really you need to decide yourself what to do instead of, oh, it's good them telling you, you know, giving you advice along the way, but at the same time you do need to learn yourself and to figure out where things are going wrong and right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good, thank you. So I guess your best season was 2017. You raced 45 meetings. You finished 6th in the shootout, I believe. You corrected me on that.
Yeah.
You raced Tom Harris cars on both surfaces. Were they new to you, and why did you choose to go with Tom?
First of all, yeah, I did have a great year. I'd done every meeting in the calendar. You know, it was a long season, a long hard season. Not many people do every meeting in the calendar, so it was a nice achievement to get as well. That was one achievement that I did do.
So was that something? Sorry to interrupt. Was that something you'd kind of set out to do right at the beginning? We're going to try and do every meeting.
2017, yeah. We obviously we built a new shale. Tom built us a new shale car, and we only finished it on the day of Bellevue, which was the first meeting of the season. We decided that if we're going to do every meeting, we're going to get it ready, and we left it really late. And obviously, it was hard going to Bellevue with the weather conditions that there was that day. It was terrible.
Yeah. Is that the one when it snowed? And is that one? I can't.
I think it was everything. It snowed, rained. It was. I've never raced anything like that ever, and it was terrible. But that was one of the main reasons why we went, just because if we did that meeting, it carried us on then for the rest of the year, and we chose. Well, we done. Both cars are new to me. The tarmac car was we debuted in 2016, I think, and the shale car we debuted in 2017. So they were new to me at the time. Obviously, I've raced them now, and I've still got a tarmac car. And Tommy, he's helped us massively. You know, one of the main reasons we did coach him. My dad's had all his cars off him since he started, and he is a good friend of the family, and he can build a fast car. And not only that, he helps you as well. If there's any problems that you think that it can help you with, he will help you. Some car builders, not all of them, they can just leave you be and not give you any help at all, which to me is a bit unfair, but that's just the way they are. And Tom, you know, he's a good friend of mine as well. We get on really well, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done for us, for me and my dad, with the help of the cars and how he builds them. And you know, that's the reason why we did go to him, really.
Yeah.
He can finish off a car really well, so you know, he has looked after us massively.
And would you say that Tom's kind of advice and help it was invaluable in your success that year? Would you say?
Massively, yeah. You know, we've come on, like, unfortunately, we didn't do a test day with the shale car because of the timing we had. But the tarmac car, he'd come on a test day with us, and he was, you know, he helped us do everything. He set it all up for me, and just to get the basics right of the car. And so, yeah, he's helped. He did help me a lot that year, yeah. You know, he'd come with us. If he wasn't racing, he'd come with us on bus, and he'd spend the day at the bus with us and tell me where I'm going wrong and what we need to do and how to adjust the car in certain areas. And so, yeah, he did help me a lot that year. And he did. I won a few races which was obviously he's helped me set the car up and stuff. So yeah, he helped me a massive amount.
You mentioned your bus. You've got a very nice bus.
Yeah, I think that season we did, like I say, we did the full calendar. So a reason why we had it done like that is because it was like our second home. So we was in it every weekend and throughout the year, and we spent more time in that than we did at home. So I think we had a big team at the time, and I could take a full set of spares with me. I could take everything what I needed, and like I say, nerf rails, bumpers. I could take everything with me, axles, everything what we needed for that. Because if it was doing the full season, we want to be out there racing. There's no point in going to certain tracks and not having the right stuff if anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
So I think my dad decided it actually took 2 years to do, 2.5 years to actually finish it. And Steve Reedman, thanks to him as well, he'd done a lot of work on it, and so yeah, it's turned out a really nice bus. And I think some people say, "Oh, you don't need such a thing," but I think sometimes you do with all your wheels and tyres and how much time you're spending on the road. They are a big help. Yeah. You'll go to a meeting and not have anything, and then next minute, you're putting the car in the back of the bus because you can't race because you've not got anything.
Yeah, it's a long way to get to Kingsland, isn't it? And then do heat, and then have to load up and go home again, I suppose. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. Towards the end of 2017, you and Ryan Harrison had quite a famous stock car moment. So it started out Birmingham Wheels on the Saturday night, and then carried on at Northampton the following day. So looking back, how do you what's your memories of that incident, if you like?
I can't really remember a lot of it, but to me it was a knock for knock. It was a lot of there was a lot going on in the race, in both races. So the way I saw it, that somebody's done me and I've done them back. So I think that it's racing at the end of the day, and everyone's we shook hands and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's how I saw it.
Yeah, it's stock car racing, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
The following year, you only raced twice. Obviously, it was a big impact at Northampton. I guess you kind of went into a bit of semi-retirement. Was that kind of one of the factors, or was there something else that kind of made you go, "I'm gonna have a bit of a year out of stock cars"?
Nothing. The reason it was nothing to do with that incident at all. I play. Well, first of all, we bought some at work. We bought another building, some property that we needed that we couldn't really let go of, that we needed to get, and so we had to work out the money side of things. So we had to sell one car to fund something else, which I think was the right thing to do. And also I play a lot of rugby. So in that season, we actually throughout that year we won the double, which then put us into a semi-pro league. So I was spending a lot more time training. Then obviously you can't do everything. So I had the rugby. I was playing semi-pro, so I had to train twice a week. 2-3 times a week, and I was playing on every Saturday, and then so there was no time for racing at all really. Obviously, when I got a break from the rugby, then I could, when I could race, I did with the tarmac. So it wasn't. There was no reason really why well, there is a reason obviously because of rugby and the work, but that incident didn't stop me from racing that the next season at all. No.
Yeah, it was just, I guess, just how circumstances played out.
You can see what it looks like, can't you? But that wasn't the case at all. I did, like I say, I was enjoying my rugby. I was playing really well, and we've gone into a league that's twice as hard anywhere else, and so yeah, that was one of the main reasons really. I put my rugby first.
And are you still on with the rugby now? Because I know you did some 9-10 meetings last year, so is rugby still kind of going on?
Yeah, we're still. Well, obviously the season's been cut short because of this virus, so I've not played now for a good month and a half now. It was just mid-season when it all stopped, so I would have been still playing at the moment. Yeah. So, like I say, we've not done anything, we've not done training, we've not done nothing because of what's been going on. So I would have been playing now, yeah.
Okay. And over the winter, you went over to New Zealand. How was that experience?
It's a fantastic experience. There's not, you can't, it is unbelievable how you're treated when you go over there and all the rest of it. It's just, if anybody ever gets a chance to go, I'd go, definitely. Because it's everything's different to over here, and you know, you get, like I say, you get looked after and you're treated like kings really everywhere you go, and it's really nice. And that's why we try and do the same when people come over to us, and you know, we look after them how they look after us. Well, yeah, it's a proper experience. Different, but it's a mega experience.
Yeah. I'm sure it's on many people's bucket list. It's certainly on mine. Yeah. So how does the racing in New Zealand compare to the racing in the UK?
Well, starters, the cars are different. You know, the cars over there are a lot stronger than what ours are. The hits are different. The hits are a lot harder. Their engines are smaller than ours, but they weigh similar, the same. They weigh similar. They're not as powerful as what our cars are. Like the hits are just they take the mick out of ours. And how some of them survive them, I don't know, because they are brutal. But yeah, that's you can't unless you've been. You can't. You can say everything about it, and you know it's just a mega experience. It's unbelievable.
It sounds like you very much enjoyed it. Apart from the hits, did you enjoy the hits? Were the hits okay?
No, I only had. I didn't really have any big ones, to be honest with you. There was just normal. Don't get me wrong, you can hit them and pass them like what we do over here, but so I didn't really. I was just getting hit and passed, and then they just coming up inside them. So I never really had. I got rolled over in the team practice, but it was only it was just like a nudge. He just put me up against the wall, and it was just a soft rollover.
But it's still a rollover, still good.
Oh yeah. Like, as soon as you roll over there, it's the same over here, but the racing just stops instantly.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously over here you do get the odd, probably a lap or something in before the race eventually gets stopped, or half a lap. Whereas there, it's not even a quarter of a lap, and it just stops, and obviously you're out your car then straight away.
Which is good, absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously you're over there with Team GB, and the aim every year is to win the team's championship, isn't it? And they've come very close. What is it that you think they need to do differently, maybe, to kind of get that title?
First of all, I take my hat off to all the work behind Team GB, because it is a hard work. But like, you're getting different drivers every year going over, which is difficult, because you're getting drivers that have not raced in a team before together, and you're getting the odd person that's going each year. But I think to start off with, as hard as it is, you need a team that is committed to going every year, really, which is nearly an impossible thing to do, really. But I think there's a lot that I see that I think that could be done without being disrespectful to the Team GB. I think that there's a lot more. I think they need to spend a lot more time together while they're over there than going into different areas. I know it is hard to keep them all together because you've all got friends in various areas, but I think that would be a big help with everyone sticking together and getting this and being in the same team. And it is hard. It is hard to win that event, because there's so many good teams out there, and they have practice teams every other week. When we go over there, we'll have 2 or 3 team meetings of a friendly, if you will, to get used to it. So it was last year they only had one team friendly, and then I remember Mickey Brennan. He was in the team, and in the friendly, he had a car failure, and that was him out instantly, and he's never, and that probably, it might have cost him his place in the team, really, which was, he's not even raced a thing. He'd gone round well enough, and he's not even showed what he could do. So I think that another thing they could do is maybe have 2 or 3, if there's time, friendlies for the teams, and then you can get, you've got time to sort problems out and cars, etc. Then, but it is a very, very
absolutely. Yeah, I get that. Obviously, in an ideal world, that's what we'd like to happen.
Yeah.
But obviously, the cost and the time and everything else is a huge factor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, just moving on then a little bit. You spoke about your dad already, and for those who don't know, he plays quite a key role in the sport. He's the technical scrutineer. Is that a help or a hindrance?
It's both, really, isn't it? You know, he's definitely stitched me up a couple of times, but it's my own fault. You know, I remember one time at Buxton, I rolled over and he cut the straps out of my helmet. Straight, 'cause being a scrutineer, he was straight on track, you know, and he looked at my helmet and he put a set of scissors through my straps, so I couldn't use my helmet again. And then there was another time, I think it was at Bellevue. I think there was some. I felt I had a bit of a ding dong somewhere, and he was stood at the side of the fence. I went over and I said, "Is everything all right?" And obviously, he's seen something on my car that wasn't all right, and told me to pull in the middle.
Okay.
I think there's like third or fourth in the final or something. Like yellow, so it's. But yeah, you know, my dad's commitment to the sport is unbelievable, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done for the, not just for me but for the sport as well. You know, he's massive in the scrutineering side of things, and then sometimes that's another thing. If you fail somebody that aren't too happy about it, and you know, it could get me a bit of damage on track, couldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's, you know, what he's done with the scrutineering and everything, it's been mega. So yeah, it's not a hindrance. No, it's been a massive help. So yeah.
Good. Okay.
Sorry. Plus, he's never at the bus anymore, so he can't moan and shout at me. So that's a good thing about it. He's always tucked away in his trailer.
Yeah, that is so it's a help. It's a help that he's doing that job.
It's a help. Yeah, definitely.
Thinking about other drivers, is there anybody you'd like to see come into Formula One stock cars that doesn't currently race Formula One?
I'd like to see my brother.
Okay.
I'd like to see how my brother's raced Formula One before. He's done the odd meeting. I'd like to see him come in and have a good go at it. You know, he's competitive in the Formula 2 side of things, so I think he's good enough to come into the sport and do well. So I think.
Have you had that conversation? Is there a reason why he doesn't want, or hasn't, or maybe thinking about it? Or
he loves his Formula 2s. You know, he's got a lot of kit in Formula 2s, and I think, like I say, he does spend a lot of time there, and that's all ever since he started racing, he's done his minis, and then he went straight into Formula 2s then. So I think that's one of the reasons why. But he's, like I say, he's raced the Formula 1, and he is interested in the Formula 1s. But maybe I think just time and work commitments are stopping that at the moment. So, but yeah, it would be nice to see him to see him come in, you know, to race around with my brother. Really good.
Because when I was speaking to Nigel Green last week, and we spoke about there isn't that many drivers that move from Formula 2 into Formula 1. A lot of people go into Formula 2 and stay in Formula 2, and that's okay, absolutely. V8s and Minis, a lot of people tend to come into Formula 1 through that route. So.
I think for me, I enjoy Formula 2, but the Formula 1, it's just bigger and better. And without being disrespectful to the Formula 2s, the crowd sizes and the fans and everybody, they're just bigger and better for me, and that's why I enjoyed it more. I didn't really enjoy the Formula 2 side of things, but then once I jumped in Formula 1, it was just everything was just better. You know, made a lot of friends and a lot of fans, and everything's just a little bit bigger, really. So for me, coming into Formula 1 was the best thing that I've done, really.
Yeah, brilliant. And if you could bring back any track onto the Formula 1 calendar, which one would it be?
Coventry, without a shadow of a doubt. Just because the crowd size is there on a Saturday night, and the atmosphere was brilliant. I was lucky enough to be in the last World Final there, and crowd on that night was massive, and you know the cheers, and you're going around a parade lap, and then there's pork and chip shop down the road that a lot of people have probably missed as well as me. But yeah, Coventry, it was a shame really, because I would have liked to have seen the last Shayla car go around there. It was a nice smooth track, and that's what the car was built for really. So it would have been nice to see the Shayla car go around there, but it'd be nice to have it back. Whether we're going to get it back, I don't know. All the time.
Never know. Yeah, it's still there, isn't it? So we can always hope. And they're saying about Bradford as well. I read stuff this week that Bradford might be coming back, and again another fantastic track. And it'd be amazing if that was back in the sport.
I don't really remember Bradford, but I remember my granddad told me a lot of stories about there, and it was like he said it was a brilliant track. So it would be nice, to have one around there as well.
Yeah, good. Okay. So on a caution, when you look in the mirror, is there anybody, if you see him in there, that you think I need to give my belts a bit of an extra tug?
Not really. I don't. I tend to have a quick look and see who's behind me, and you'll know if you see someone behind you who you recognise. I will have a small mirror, you see, so you can't really see a lot anyway. So the only thing that I can see is somebody's aerofoil, and if I think, all right, if you're in the top 3 or top 5 in the final, I think you're going to tighten them up anyway because you know what's going to be coming on after the caution. But you tend to know the drivers and what they're going to do really. So like for example, if Nigel Green's one of them, is a fair driver. So if you do see him behind you, I think if he's quicker than you, he's going to nudge you and be on his way. And whereas other drivers, you sort of know after racing with them for so long what they're going to do and where they're going to be. So not that, like I say, the only time I'd probably do that is if they have come loose anyway, because of the race that you're in. Then I'd tighten them, and then like I say, top 3 or whatever in the final, you know what's going to come. So you just freak them a little bit more, don't you?
Yeah. Is that on your mind though when you sat there? So let's say you are top 3, final at King's Lynn. Do you know I'm going in that wall and it's going to hurt?
Not really. Well, something's going to come if you've got the people that you know who's behind you. But then hopefully you can just try and use the car in front as a bit of a cushion, and if you can get out of it and survive, that's the best part about it. It is about survival as well in them sort of races. So I think I don't really think about that I'm going to go in the wall. I'm just going to think about what happens when the green flag drops and how you're going to stay alive, really.
Nigel Green mentioned last week about he's got a small mirror in his car. So why have you got a small mirror?
So you can't see what's behind you.
Okay.
And that's pure and simple, really. If you're looking up at a big mirror, I did watch that video, and like Nigel said, if you've got a great big mirror, you're going to be constantly looking in it. So, and that's just going to, then you're just going to throw yourself off your own race then. But it's the same as Nigel. I try and concentrate on my own race as best as I possibly can. And don't get me wrong, I think every driver will have a little glance just to see who's about. And for instance, the last bender, if you think that it's going to come, you'll have an idea that it is going to come. But you can't see a lot out of him. So for me, that's the best thing. You don't know who's coming, and if there's a big one coming, you can't really expect it, can you?
And you can't do much about it either, can you?
No, you can't. Oh no, they're going to get you out there.
Keeping it topical, if you had to self-isolate with 3 current Formula 1 drivers, who would it be?
Mark Sargent for definite.
Okay.
I'd say there's a load of them really. It's hard. It's hard this because I've got a lot of friends. So I'd go with Tom.
Yeah.
And I'd probably take another close friend of mine, Aaron Leach.
Okay. That's a nice little group.
Both friends, and Sargent are just, you could keep an empty room going in, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So, and Tom and Leach are good friends of mine, so it'd be nice. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Easy choice then, and apart from the people that you've offended by not choosing them. So, what's the one thing that you hate that everyone else seems to love?
I'll tell you what, I don't really hate it, right? But just beer. I can't drink beer.
Okay.
Everyone loves beer, but I don't like the taste of it. So
if you're a stock car driver, everybody's supposed to like beer, aren't they? That's what you do.
I'll have a Budweiser once every 3 months or something like that. But I'll just stick to these Copperbergs. These are alright.
They're nice. They're nice, then. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't stand beer.
Okay. That's controversial. Most controversial thing you say. What's been the highlight of your stock car career so far?
I won the Heaton final at Birmingham in the rain. That was massive for me. I should have won 2 heats and final, but I was being a bit of a show off just in front of the line and a spun.
I remember that. Yeah.
Giving my good mate his first win that year, actually, Leacher. But yeah, that was one of them. And the shootout, really, to finish where I did in the shootout for my first go at it was a big thing for me, because everyone that finished above me was previous world champions and world champions. So to be up there with them lot, and don't get me wrong, I beat them sometimes during the shootout, and they beat me. And I think I was just as quick as them. I think the experience that they had over me was what, you know, got them the top 4 finish and the top 5 finish. But yeah, for me, the shootout was mega for me.
So what do you think of the shootout series? Do you like that as a sort of a mini series at the end of the season?
Yeah. I think it's really good. I think it keeps the racing alive for the back to after all you've done all your championship meetings. Then there's something to look forward to for the fans as well at the end, towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, and as a driver, it helps you as a driver. It helped me a massive amounts as a driver, and it probably made me a better driver than what I was at the time. Just to be in with a mix of them and all the top boys, you're running against them each week and starting at the back. It was probably easier to start at the back, actually, and a lot of them leave you alone the first 3 or 4 laps, whereas further down the grades they'll just knock lumps out of you straight away. Whereas the Reds and Superstars, they don't tend to really bother each other until the back end of the race, unless obviously somebody's got a bit of a beef with somebody. But like I said, we tend to leave each other alone until we get to the business end, and then they start knocking lumps out of each other. I think it does save a lot of damage at the start, but then obviously it could cause you a lot of damage towards the end of the race as well.
Especially for you.
Yeah.
There does seem to be kind of one driver that sort of seems to have a really good shootout that you wouldn't expect. Like Bobby Griffin last year, kind of did really well and could have won it going to the last meeting at Bellevue. So it is, like I say, a great series.
For me, Bobby that last year done really well for me. He is a good friend of mine, but the way he was driving, it made him 10 times better than driver than what he was, definitely. And I hope he does well this year as well. Well, when we eventually start again. So, yeah.
So if there's one thing you could change though about Formula One stock cars, what would that be?
For me, I wouldn't change anything really, because if you change one thing, you're just going to upset somebody else. And I think that the rules as they are at the moment and how everything's going, the only thing I would change is bring commentary back. So that's it. But no, I'm happy with everything, with the rules and everything in the cars. And so, like I say, you put in to change one thing and you're just going to upset somebody else, and then they'll change. So you're never going to keep everybody happy. And I think unfortunately, that's what we've got to deal with at the moment. Yeah. Not everybody's going to be happy, but at the end of the day, we've still got to go out there and race. Yeah. So and then it's your choice then if you want to race or you don't want to race. Yeah. So no, I wouldn't change nothing really for me.
Brilliant, thank you. Randomly, what useless fact do you know?
I know Oreos are vegan.
Who is?
Oreo biscuits.
Yeah.
Are vegan.
Really?
No dairy products in them whatsoever.
That is useless. No, I didn't know that. So that
I only found that out because I was eating one the other day. And Lindsay told me.
Okay. Looks like we're that bored because of lockdown. You're reading the ingredients.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a great fact. Thank you. What's the best prank you've ever played on somebody?
Well, there's one that's from the rugby side actually. It was a presentation night, and it was in Manchester town centre. So we all had it was a hotel, and we stayed. Obviously, we had our presentation and stayed there for the night. And one of the lads, Grayso, won. I don't think he won anything actually. He was just giving us a load of stick, just being rugby lads, and so me and another lad had enough, and we went to the reception and said, "Hi, my name's Adam Graham. I've lost my room key. Can I have a room key?" So she gave us a room key. Obviously, it wasn't Adam Graham. So we decided to go up to the room and turn his room upside down so it looked like it had been robbed. So we went in, we tipped his bed upside down, we tipped all his drinks everywhere, we threw all his clothes everywhere, and it just looked like a bomb had gone off. And then 15 minutes later, he'd gone up to his room, and then the police was at the at the reception, because obviously he phoned the police because he thought he'd been robbed. So yeah, we got a bit of stick for that, but it's definitely one of the best pranks I've done.
That's very good, very good.
We was quite drunk as well. Can't say we were really drunk.
But still clear-headed enough to kind of come up with that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good idea at the time, definitely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we aren't racing at the moment, but you've been doing some of the online racing on a Saturday night. How is that going for you?
It's actually quite good. You know, there's a lot of banter going about the group that we're in. You know, there's some good drivers in there and not so good drivers that are still learning. And I'm only on the Xbox pad. I don't have a steering wheel or anything like that. But you got the likes of Charlie Sawyer and the Dutch lad who's on steering wheels and walking all over everybody. So you know, and there's talk of them getting stopped next weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, so it could be a bit of fun.
Okay.
Bit of fun and games next week. Well, yeah, it's a good laugh. It's good for the fans as well to keep them interested and Sarge and Window Boys doing a good job. So yeah, it's a good laugh. It is a good laugh. It gives you something to do as well.
Yeah. No, it's proven very popular, hasn't it, on Saturday night? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, a lot of the lads are doing a lot of practice, as I am. You know, there's nothing else to do, so we're all getting on there and we're knocking lumps out of each other in a bit of a practice session. So yeah, it's a good laugh. It's good.
Good. So we've spoken during the lockdown series with other drivers around dual surface cars. Do you think that they are necessary to future-proof the success of Formula One stock cars? You know, what's your view?
It's an hard one, really. For me, I'd stick with the two cars, but that's just me. That's my opinion, and I don't. Like I say, if you run a tarmac car now, an out-and-out tarmac car, it's a bit more. Obviously, you've got a lot of work to do to change everything, changing axles and things like that. So you're still spending a lot of time in the garage changing them each week. Some people won't change axles, but some others do, and you know there's shockers and things like that, and springs and things. So I think there's a lot of work into changing a dual surface car over each week. Whereas you've got your two cars, you've got one for each service, and all right, yeah, you've got work on them to get them ready for each week. But like I say, I think, and to keep your correct setup as well on tarmac and shale, you're constantly altering your car. So I don't think it'll never be the same for the sport. I think, yeah, it could do the sport good. I know there's a couple of drivers doing the dual surface car at the moment, and they are doing well. So for me, it's an hard one, really. You know, but I would stick with the two cars. Yeah, I would.
But I suppose, like you say, you referenced the time piece. Because obviously, you know that phrase "time is money," isn't it? So if you're having to spend time doing one car, then it's impacting on your work. That's funding the stock car racing.
Yeah. It is an hard one for me. It is hard because, like I say, for a dual surface car, you are changing axles and. Plus, if you get damage as well, you've got a lot of damage to repair during the week, and before you know it, you're in the garage every night, just like what you've been doing with all right, you're saving a bit of money here and there, but you're still going to be in the garage every night, spending just as you are on two cars and you're out with one, damage depending.
Okay, thank you. So, what's the best and worst thing about stock car racing?
The best thing I'd say is. Winning, and you know, just when I've not won a lot of races, but when I do, you know, I do enjoy it, and I've had to work hard for a couple of them. Some of them I've been lucky, and the fans, you know, the fans that come up to you and the people and the friends that you make, it's just brilliant. And the worst part is definitely washing them after a show. that first Bellevue that year, that 2017, I never forget it because it took me 3 days just to wash the car before I could even start doing any work on it. There was that much mud everywhere on that car, and it took me that long just to get it clean. That is the worst part for me, when he's washing him, 100%.
Did you have like a big bucket of shale to take back for the next meeting?
Oh, I could have relayed the track. I had that much shale on there.
Okay. You mentioned you raced Formula 2 and up before coming into Formula 1, but are there any other forms of motorsport that you'd like to go and race in?
No. I think Formula 1s are, everybody wants to be in them. And I think that once you've been in a Formula 1, I don't think you really, for me, I don't want to race in anything else now. The bumper work and everything about them is brilliant. So for me, I'd race Formula 1s all day.
And for my final question, unfortunately, we haven't started the season yet, but had you made any plans for 2020? Had you got any new cars lined up, any modifications to your current tarmac car, any championship aims? What plans had you sort of put in place?
Well, we've redone my tarmac car has been bumpered and re-nerfed, and we've put a couple of new bits that we're going to try out this year. We've done a bit of a deal with Tom and our friend in New Zealand, the Lumphreys, that we're going to do a new shale car between us. So that's ongoing at the moment. That's going to be a bit different, and it's going to work. It's definitely going to work. So I'm confident in both of them that they can do a mint car between them.
So who's building that? Sorry, you say Tom's building that?
Originally we was going to have it built in New Zealand, but we couldn't get the steel. So we've done a deal now where Tom's going to build the chassis, and we're going to put and Will's done some axles, different axles. And the pickup points and everything like that are all Will's ideas. I'm going to put them both together.
Okay, brilliant. And is that sort of work in progress now and ready for hopefully races?
It won't be ready early on. It is in progress. Obviously, we've got to get the axles over from New Zealand, which they take 6 weeks, 7 weeks alone just to get them sent over when they're done. So yeah, it won't be ready sooner. It won't be ready soon. It'll be later on in the season if we do get going, if not next year when it comes out. But I was championship wise, I'm very, very interested in this year in doing well. So I want to. My aim was to get in the shootout this year, and I've got a bit of a point to prove with a few people. So I think that was one of the things that I really wanted to do, and get the tarmac car going really well. And I did what I do well this year. I wanted to go for it, and so obviously with what's going on, it's a bit of a shame. But the tarmac car's nearly done, so it's just a bit of paint work and things. And I've had my engine rebuilt at the moment. Yeah. So I've just got to wait to put that back in. And so yeah, I did really want to have a good go at it this year. Yeah. But with what's happened, it's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit disappointing, but clearly you up for it, and that really interesting with the the New Zealand / Tom car that's coming out. So
it's going to be very, very different. So when it pulls out of the back of the bus, it'll have a lot of people around it, and probably a few questions asked. But there you go.
But it's good. It's brilliant. Thank you for that. Ben, it's been absolutely an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for giving up some time on your evening when you could have been practicing for your racing on Saturday.
I'm going on after this, don't worry.
Oh yeah. But thank you very much, and stay safe. Cheers.
Thank you. I'd just like to say as well, I hope everybody's safe. And I hope this all ends soon. Another thing I'd like to say is thanks to all my sponsors and everybody who's helped me out over the years, and I look forward to next season.
Cheers, Ben. Thank you so much.
Thank you.